Awakening carries significant weight. It signifies a state of being roused. Spiritually, awakening is God's call for his people to arise from a spiritual slumber, to discern the times, and to experience personal and collective revival. In other words, with all this stuff happening, can you imagine God saying, "Can you hear me now?" Disaster to hit. Can you hear me now? Planes falling out of the sky. Can you hear me now?
Please remain seated until further assistance happens.
Oh my gosh. Please get us on here. Fire, this is jet. Just had to evacuate the plane because the tire blew as we took off.
Hello? Dave, I just witnessed a plane crash.
There's something strange going on in the sky as airlines and pilots are on high alert due to GPS spoofing, a new form of electronic warfare messing with navigation systems. Over 1,100 flights a day are now facing fake GPS signals that can confuse cockpit systems and put pilots on edge.
I heard the word earthquake in the spirit, and I saw a shaking, and tremors were coming in waves. Small and great tremors. And I heard the word volcano, and I saw a huge mountain explode, and hot lava came out. Then I heard the word fear, fear, fear. The eruption was connected to the earthquake, and tremors, which was connected to fire and chaos. Tremors were a sign before the manifestation. People were trying to get away. God said, you can't run from what you can't see. It's going to be everywhere. Tremors here, tremors there. You will be able to run, but won't be able to hide. Volcano means overflow of sin in the earth. God showed me people coming to and fro, even in the body of Christ. Everybody trying to make money, everybody, and all that's good. Everything has its place. He says, it's going to wake them up. He said, it's not going to be the word of the Lord. It's going to be the tremor.
Santorini's earthquake swarm now stands at over 500 tremors since this started, with the strongest yet, a 5.1 magnitude quake, striking earlier today. Seismologists warn these quakes could be foreshocks, meaning a larger earthquake could be imminent. The epicenters have been shifting, with activity now extending northeast along the Amorgos Fault, the same fault responsible for Greece's devastating 1956 earthquake. Authorities have expanded emergency measures as the situation worsens. Thousands of residents and tourists are leaving, with ferries at full capacity and congestion reported at the port of Athenios. Schools remain closed, and certain areas have been declared high-risk zones due to the increasing threat of rockfalls and possible landslides. Tremors are now being felt beyond Santorini, with strong quakes recorded on Amorgos, Ios, and Anafi. Experts are closely monitoring stress levels along the fault line, as further seismic activity could trigger a more powerful event.
I just saw a huge earthquake. It hit Mexico. It was a 6.2. It's actually going to trigger more seismic activity on the San Andreas fault line. Seeing such a big quake happening very close to the US border, I really do believe it's going to trigger a barrage of quake over there in California. I mean, at this point, California don't really need it because of what they're already dealing with. But seismic activity is something that you cannot stop. No man on this earth can stop it.
We do begin tonight with the earthquake rocking Los Angeles, the 4.4 quake just north of downtown LA. Tonight, authorities warning millions to be prepared for aftershocks. And this was the moment on ESPN's NBA Today. They were actually live on the air.
As we have a bit of an earthquake here in Los Angeles, so we're just going to make sure that our studio lights, everything stays safe, everything's shaking.
They were live from their Los Angeles studio when the quake struck. Anchor Malika Andrews pausing to see if everyone was safe there. You can see the shaking in the live stream from the EarthCam webcam right at the top of the Statue of Liberty in New York Harbor. That was quite something. And the rumbling, you can see it and hear it in this home in Middlesex, New Jersey. Pictures shaken off the walls, falling to the floor. A startled dog jumping from the window on the back of the couch there. Customers rushing out of a coffee shop. This was in Boonton, New Jersey. And the moment of confusion during a live-streamed event from New Jersey, taking off the headset there, not knowing what was going on.
storms threatening to flood the Northeast again after storms washed away roads and killed at least 2 people. North of New York City in Oxford, Connecticut, firefighters making daring rescues near the Little River.
Breaking news. Late Wednesday night, Iceland's Reykjanes Peninsula came alive as a volcano erupted for the 10th time in 3 years. Yesterday afternoon, the sky over Sacajoj, Argentina, transformed into a scene of chaos. A colossal dust storm surged across the landscape, swallowing everything in its path and plunging the region into darkness.
Violent weather has left a trail of death and destruction across the southeast. At least 4 people are dead. The storms left homes destroyed, as you see there, trees down and roads blocked. A reported 47 tornadoes have left a trail of destruction stretching across at least 6 states.
Her family were in their bathroom in the middle of the house.
With her?
Yes, with her. You're okay.
In Alabama, continuous flashes of lightning lit up the night sky, and winds toppled trees. The storm took the roof off a county courthouse and littered the town square in Athens, Alabama, with tree branches, bricks, and debris.
Japan has been hit with a tsunami warning after a major earthquake off the country's southwest coast. The magnitude 6.8 tremor hit at 9:19 local time, causing shaking so strong it was difficult to stand in nearby areas for half a minute.
Tonight, shocking new dashcam video circulating online showing the moment a boulder crashes onto a road and into a car, triggered by that powerful earthquake in Taiwan. Just 1 day after the island was hit by its most powerful quake in nearly a quarter century, new video showing nurses in a maternity ward scrambling to hold the baby bassinet steady during the tremors. Emergency efforts now underway in the mountainous region of Hualien. Firefighters airlifting out the injured, 7 Americans among those rescued today. Excavators clearing roads in the search for hundreds of people still trapped or missing, many of them in Taroko National Park, a popular tourist attraction. This group of hotel workers stranded in an open tunnel on the side of a gorge, waving to a drone that was sent to see if they were okay. David Chen, a security manager at the hotel, finally reuniting with his family, describing his harrowing rescue. As we were leaving, rocks were still falling, Chen adding, he's lucky to have survived.
Sicknesses and diseases popping up. At-home terrorism. America, can you hear me now?
The USDA announcing the Detroit-based Wolverine Packing Company is recalling more than 165,000 pounds of fresh and frozen beef over possible E. coli contamination. At least 19 cases of illness have been reported across the state of Minnesota so far. Officials say 4 people had to be hospitalized, including 2 who developed serious complications. The recalled beef has a use-by date of November 14th, and frozen products are labeled with a production date of October 22nd.
Quite a sight in the Sahara Desert. One of the driest places on Earth has flooded. Torrential rainfall in southeastern Morocco swamped the desert for the first time in half a century. Last month, the area received more than a year's worth of rain in just 2 days. Tonight, organic whole and baby carrots are being recalled over a deadly E. coli outbreak. They were grown at Grimway Farms in California and sold under more than a dozen store brands, including Target, Whole Foods, and Trader Joe's. The bags of carrots were shipped directly to stores across the U.S., Puerto Rico, and Canada.
Pedophiles everywhere, sickness everywhere, folks shooting up school. Can you hear me now? Who you gonna call on? You're waiting for a president? You thought your presidential selection and election was gonna make a difference? Who you gonna call now?
Last night, President Trump plunged the country into chaos. Without a shred of warning, the Trump administration announced a halt to virtually all federal funds across the country. Donald Trump has shut off billions, perhaps trillions of dollars that directly support states, cities, towns, schools, hospitals, small businesses, and most of all, American families.
Have you spoken to any of the families of the victims of the plane crash?
I don't want to comment on that.
Do you have a plan to go visit the site or meet with any of the
I have a plan to
responders?
visit, not the site, because you tell me, what's the site? The water?
Or to meet with the first responders down there?
I don't have a plan to do that, but I will be meeting with some people that were very badly hurt.
We have an executive order prepared for your attention that would withdraw the United States from the UN Human Rights Council.
I need to go along with it, but they got to get their act together.
Backs for President Trump's sweeping overhaul of the U.S. government.
including his attempt to get many federal workers to resign by offering payouts. Yesterday, a federal judge blocked that effort, at least until Monday.
Tens of thousands of federal workers have already accepted this offer. What happens to them?
The answer is we don't know.
The White House had a different interpretation, saying it welcomed the extension while blasting remote workers.
We encourage federal workers in this city to accept the very generous offer. If they don't want to show up to the office, if they want to rip the American people off, then they're welcome to take this buyout.
Everett Kelly, the president of the American Federation of Government Employees, is warning union members not to resign. Federal judges have also temporarily stopped the Trump administration from imposing a freeze on trillions of dollars in grants and loans. And on Thursday, a second injunction blocked the president's attempt to end birthright citizenship in the U.S.
What we're facing right now in this country is the Trump administration moving 100 miles an hour in 100 different areas and on a daily basis breaking the law, violating the United States Constitution.
The Trump administration filed an appeal in one of those birthright citizenship cases. Meanwhile, two labor groups sued the administration for slashing USAID funding and staff by nearly 100%.
It's going to happen. They'll need a place to cry out to God. They're going to need a place where their faith can be elevated, because there ain't no hope out there. You ain't going to find no hope out there. This world is hopeless. Turn on TikTok, hopeless. Turn on Facebook, hopeless. Turn on the news, hope. Tell me where you finding hope at. No, it's sad, because a lot of the churches, you hear stuff on there about these dirty dog preachers. So where we going to find it? It's got to be a house of God, house of prayer.
God said that you have to be under his umbrella. He says that anything outside of his umbrella will bring destruction and death. Refuge is going to be in the house. The man of God is like your meteorologist. He's letting you know what the weather forecast is and what's to come. He said, but many of you have been tuning out. God said that it's time to tune back in and have an ear to hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying. God said that he has sounded the alarm. He has warned his people. He has given us 5 years to get it together. But God said the season of judgment is coming. He said, if you want safety, he said, now is the time to have a renewed yes.
God says, tell my people that if they align themselves, that they will be able to overcome and they will be strengthened by what's coming. The blessing for us is God is still on the throne. Whoever abides in him, he will abide in them. Our strength won't be good enough in this season, where you live or what you drive or how much money you have. It won't matter. Strength comes from the Lord.